Okay, so we've got a story for you. It's about a boy, a crazy storm, and a bridge that's falling apart. But honestly, it's really a story that makes you ask a pretty big question, one that kind of flips our usual ideas on their head. We're going to break down what this simple little tale can teach us about what it really means to be brave. So let's just dive right in with the big question. What is true bravery? I mean, really, is it about being the biggest person in the room, the strongest, the loudest? Or is it maybe something quieter, something more on the inside? Just think about what that word means to you and hold on to that thought as we get into the story of a boy named Aarav. So, our story kicks off in this little village. You know, the kind of place that's tucked away between these dark forests and huge tall hills. And it's right here that we're going to meet our hero. And let me tell you, he is not who you'd expect. This is Aarav. He definitely doesn't look like the hero you'd see in some epic movie. He's not a knight in shining armor or a king. Nope, he's just a boy, living a pretty normal life in his village. But as we're about to find out, you really can't judge a book by its cover. And this is really important. Look at what the story focuses on. It's not about his size, not about his strength. It's about something you can't see. His fearless heart. Right there. That's our first big clue that this story is going to make us rethink what a hero actually is. And here's where it gets really interesting. It's like the story is putting two ideas side by side for us. On one side, you've got the classic idea of bravery, being physically big and strong. But on the other side, you have what Aarav represents, a fearless heart and courage on the inside. So right from the get-go, we're being nudged to question what we thought bravery was all about. All right, let's see how this all plays out. Every hero needs a test, a real challenge. And for Aarav and his entire village, that test is about to hit them, and hit them hard. And then, bam! Just like that, the peace is totally shattered. A massive storm just rolls in, and with it comes this immediate feeling of danger and total chaos. Everything is turned upside down. So now the danger isn't just, out there. It gets specific. The river is swelling, and it's taking out the village's one connection to the outside world, that old wooden bridge. You can just feel that tension ratcheting up, can't you? And now the crisis has a face. This isn't just about a bridge anymore. There's a child, a little girl, who is in real immediate danger. And hearing her cries for help just makes everything so much more personal and incredibly urgent. And this part is so telling. Think about it. The adults, right? The ones you'd expect to jump into action, they're just stuck. They're arguing, debating, going back and forth, but nobody is doing anything. And that hesitation, that paralysis, it creates an opening for a very different kind of hero to step up. And right here, this is the moment everything changes. While everyone else was talking, one person made a decision. Let's really look at the moment Aarav's inner courage bursts into action. Just watch how he does this. It's incredible. There's no big speech, no grandstanding. He just quietly gets to work. He grabs a rope, ties it around his waist, and just walks out into that storm. He starts crossing that broken bridge one plank at a time. See, he's not just running in blindly. This is calm, it's focused, it's a completely deliberate act of courage right in the middle of all this chaos. So he gets to this terrified little girl, and what does he say? He doesn't yell commands. He just says, "Don't worry, I'm here." It's so simple, but so powerful, right? It shows us his bravery isn't just about being tough. It's also about being kind and compassionate. Okay, so Aarav's reached the girl, but they are not out of the woods yet, not by a long shot. Getting her back to safety is going to be just as dangerous as getting to her in the first place. And again, just look at how methodical he is. He secures the girl with the rope, just like he did for himself, and then he guides her back. He's not just pulling her along, he's actively making sure she's safe every single step of the way across that crumbling bridge. And this is it. The big moment. The villagers, finally seeing his action, they jump in to help. They pull them both to safety at the exact second the bridge gives way and collapses into the raging river. It's just this heart-stopping reminder of how high the stakes were. 1 second of hesitation, and this whole story would have had a very different ending. All right, let's take a breath. Everyone's safe. So now we can really unpack what just happened. What did the villagers learn from Aarav? And more importantly, what can we learn? And it all boils down to this, really. This is the big takeaway. Bravery isn't about what you look like on the outside, your size or your strength. It's about what you do. It's about making a choice to be courageous and kind, right when someone needs it the most. So let's really pull out the key lessons here, the stuff we can all take with us. First up, courage isn't about not being scared. It's about doing the right thing, even when you are scared. Second, kindness isn't a weakness. It's a huge form of strength, just like Aarav showed. Third, in a real crisis, taking action is way more important than talking about it. And finally, and this might be the biggest one person, no matter who they are, can absolutely make all the difference. And that really brings us to the final question I want to leave you with. This whole story is about looking past the obvious. So think about this. When things get tough, who's the person that stops talking and starts doing? The one who mixes their courage with kindness? Who is the Aarav in your life? And maybe, just maybe, it could even be you.